Well, hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. We're so glad you're with us. Woo! Create Talks is so fun because I get to hear from creatives that are changing the world. You get to engage with them as well. So I'd love for you to welcome Kirsten Larsen.
Yay,
Woo!
everyone.
Kirsten, it is so amazing to have you not only here, but now you are on our Create Academy team and you are the creative community director. You head up everything that is happening in Create Academy. And I'm just so blessed to have you and to have you close to me. You're in Pasadena. She's about an hour, maybe 15 minutes north of me in SoCal. So we're kind of linked together in many different ways, but welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
I am too. We're talking about growing in power through a creative community. And the first thing we're going to talk about is this idea about what we can do to help to ignite people's creative DNA and destiny. What we're seeing in Create Academy is so many people are starting to share about how they've been impacted to not only create in the presence of God, but how they can grow together as a community where they're known, where they're loved, where they belong, where they're accepted. We were just together with our leaders sharing about that this morning. But what do you think about like the power of what God's doing in Create Academy?
Oh my goodness. I could go on and on for a long time. Create Academy is just so incredible. And this is not even a pitch. This is someone coming in and learning about what God is doing behind the scenes and going, I wish everyone knew about this. I wish more people could discover this because it's such a gem. And the picture I have is of a gem hidden behind the cleft of a rock. Even though there's quite a few people that know about it, there's so many people don't know that creativity is inside of them. And Create Academy creates a culture and a community that unlocks not only your creativity, but the part of your destiny and your design that God's put in you. And we all know that God is creative. That's his first way of introducing himself to us. And so Create Academy is such a beautiful group of people coming together, unlocking that in each other and cheering each other on to say, do more, let's do more. And let's see God impact the world around us. It's really incredible.
It really has been fun just to build this whole school up in the last 4 or 5 years and to see the level of hunger about what people really want to creatively express to God, to each other, and to the world around them. And we're just seeing so many miracles of books being written, of people taking risks in doing art, sharing art in churches, doing things within the community realm as well. And like there's just this thing happening that if you don't know about it, it's this huge thing of not doing it alone. I think that that's huge about what we're talking about. And we have an upcoming event called Ignite. We wanted to let you know because there's an early bird special, and go ahead and let's share about that and how they can get involved in that.
All right, here we go. There's Ignite is coming up. Woo! January 28th. It's an online one-day conference. It is an immersion. There is a lot happening. Ignite your God-given creative design and destiny. Go to theresadedmon.com/ignite. We have some incredible speakers coming up. Dan McCollum, Theresa, Kevin, Tanasha LeRae, Chris Lumry, Brian Peterson, and Ann Ballard. Is just a powerful lineup. But not only that, we also have 14 workshop sessions that are going to be activating you in different areas of creativity, of business, of strategies for your church, for dance, for writing, and building community. And you might jump into one of these, but you're going to get, when you sign up, you get access to all 14 workshops plus the 7 main sessions. So you'll get all of that, lifetime access to it. So even if you can't make it the whole day, you can sign up and get access to all of these. It's going to be really incredible. You're going to learn how to partner with God, unlock creativity. You're actually also going to get your own personal prophetic session. So come and get activated, get unlocked. And right now we have early bird tickets.
Woo!
So come and sign up before December 1st. And it's only $30 for the entire day. That's 21 sessions plus prophetic word and ministry. It's going to be so powerful. So theresadedmon.com/ignite.
And we're also doing a special for you guys that love to bring your community, where if you get 10 people to sign up, including yourself, you get to be in this raffle and have a prophetic session with me. So come on, get your peeps together. It's going to be great. That's all on theresadedmon.com. You can follow the link in the chat, and we want to see you grow. I mean, part of our heart is to ignite every country, every place. So come. We just want to see you thrive and grow. Also, if you have any questions for Kirsten throughout this time, put that in the chat, or any comments. You know me, I love to grow in our community here. So put that in the chat, and we would love to hear more about what your name is, where you're from, and how has community impacted you. If you're in Create Academy, let us know in the chat. If you have a community of creatives around you, let us know that too, where they're from. We'd love to do shout outs. So anyway, let's get on this journey of getting to know Kirsten.
All right.
Well, Kirsten, share a little bit about how you found out about what I was doing at Bethel with the schools of creativity, with the creative movement, and how it intersected with your dreams and passion. So let's talk about the backstory.
Yeah, I love it. As I was thinking about this today, I was remembering even the journey. And I grew up doing art, learning creativity, doing that entire world was a big part of my life. But when I got to college, I started a major comparison, me against everyone else. And I got to the point where I just stopped calling myself an artist or creative at all. And I was in art school. So people would ask, are you an artist? And I actually flat out started saying no. And the intensity of being up against so many incredible creatives and people started kind of wearing on me, and I started feeling like I wasn't creative anymore. And I felt like, I might have a skill. I'm good at drawing and painting, and I'm good at graphic design, but I don't really feel creative. And so it started to feel like that wasn't really valued. And as I started doing more and more ministry, I felt like, well, creativity isn't really valued. And what's valued is ministry. And what does that really mean? And so I really got involved with ministry, a lot of inner healing and outreach work, all of that. And then in 2011, we began a school of supernatural ministry in Pasadena.
Yay.
And it was at that time people started asking me, am I an artist? And I was like, why do they think that I'm an artist? And they said, well, you look like one. And I shared my heart with a friend of mine, and she gave me this book, Cultivating Kingdom Creativity. You can see all my little tabs and notes, and it was unlocked in me. I started listening to Theresa, started going, oh my gosh, creativity is not apart from my calling. Creativity is not something that I have to do, but creativity is something that's inside of me. And it was really through a lot of those things first I did all the activations myself. And then we started doing it in small groups and started doing it in the midst of community. And it was like, oh, if I stop comparing and I start celebrating, I actually start to grow and blossom and can release the creative side of me. And
Wow.
And then when we went to the School of Creativity at Bethel, that's when it really unlocked for me. I think even thinking about it right now, I could probably start crying, but there was a session, I don't remember which one, but I burst into tears. It was like the Holy Spirit just started ministering to me and breaking off things that I'd held on to, and just was pouring in saying, you are creative and you're meant to do this and you're meant to use it to touch other people. It blew me
Wow.
away.
If you are listening right now and your heart is being stirred because of things that you said about yourself or things that are being like unlocked to you, is that really, what's more important, ministry or art or creativity or whatever? Let me tell you right now, God is setting you free because you are called to be yourself. And in that component, God takes all of you. He doesn't say, oh, I want this little teeny part, but no, he takes all of you. And he actually has anointed every part of your life to share his story. And that's the good news. And that's what you'll learn in Ignite in Create Academy. We have some shout outs here. Let's just see what's going on. Okay, Audrey Griffith, the community has really released my creativity in so many areas, music, writing, and crochet, and so much more. Audrey, we
So
love
nice.
you so much. We're so glad that you're a part. And Audrey is part of our level 1, and that's our identity tracking Create Academy. I'm so glad you're with us. Here is Magin. Hi, is this conference going to be interactive or a listening conference? Oh, that is a great question. I think it's Megan Gonzalez. It is completely immersive interactive. You are going to be in these workshops. You're going to be activated. You are going to find out who you are. So you have 14 of these sessions where you get unlocked to do stuff. Also, what we're going to do is have interactive times during the sessions where you get to ask questions in the chat, etc. So this is not like just a listening conference. This is going to be something to where you really get to grow and to really participate. Plus, you get prophetic ministry and you get to talk to the people, the leaders in my Create Academy who will be leading that time. So I would say it's not only interactive, but it's totally immersive. It's going to really change your life. But thank you for sharing. I'm glad. In the chat, if you want to add anything in there to them as well, please do. But let's go into this thing of, in Create Academy, we have many different things that happen. And share about your role now in Create Academy, because it is such an integral role to what we're building to see every type of person that comes into Create Academy thrive and grow. So share a little bit about your role.
Yeah, so I'm working with the team. We have in Create Academy, we have 3 levels of growth. You go through level 1, and level 2 is actually a leadership growth. And then the mentoring growth, level 3, you're actually taking all that you've learned and bringing it into the communities around you and the world around you. And so I'm helping to facilitate the culture in the community and getting to know all of the community, the leaders, the mentors, and all the students who are coming through and just doing such incredible things in the world around them. They're painting, they're drawing, they're releasing healings. And I love getting to see what God is doing in that midst. So powerful.
Me too. I think it's been fun because, you just came in it's hard to believe it was just a couple months ago. It seems like you've been here forever. But in that process, she's been able to see the inner workings of what happens in a student's life at the beginning, after 2 or 3 years. What is God saying? How is God moving? And it's so fun to watch the progress. I love seeing how God can take us where we're at, and through community can weave us together and transform us. So the interesting thing about Create Academy, it's not just a USA American type of thing. Aren't you guys glad? But we have people from all over the world that are coming into it. We have 2 different times during the day on Wednesdays and Thursdays where people that are working or where people that are in different time zones can attend. So it really is to build that community stuff up inside of you. So that's what it's all about. And Kirsten, we couldn't do it without you. You're such a rock star, and she's got so many incredible ideas for how to even help it grow more. We do have a couple more shout outs here. Let me just say this. This is Chelsea. At Create Academy, I finally found a community that's loved and encouraged me and helped build my confidence in exploring my own creativity and ministry. Chelsea, that is so cool. Thanks for sharing.
Amazing.
Okay, question Randy has for clarity. You don't get to interactively do all 14 workshops live. What will happen is like you will choose the 2 ones, your top 2, and that will be offered in the actual time from 8 to 5 p.m. The all-day seminar time, that conference time. And then you'll get all of the workshops that you haven't yet seen with the chat, right? Isn't the chat included in that?
Yep.
Yeah. So the chat is included so you can see what other people are saying. Good question.
And you'll get the recordings of the other workshops that you don't attend.
Yeah, you get all the recordings. And this is from Hallie. Hallie, we're so glad. Hallie is in our leadership. She's in the second level. Yes, join Create Academy. It will change your life. It began to change my creative destiny last year and has continued to do so this year. My life is being totally transformed by Create Academies. It's incredible. Yeah, and we love you, Hallie. I mean, part of what we just talked about in our leadership track with you is the power of people being seen and known and loved. And it's important because we're all in different places and in our process.
Yeah.
Yeah. What have you enjoyed about the leadership track, Kirsten?
Gosh, I love that, a lot of times when you think of creatives, and I say this over and over again, but it's good to be a broken record sometimes, but a lot of times when you think of creatives, you think of the arts, and Create Academy deeply goes into the arts, writing and dancing and painting and drawing and music, but it also speaks to the entrepreneurs. It also speaks to the mothers. It also speaks to the people that are going, how do I do my life in a creative way and invite God's creative process into that space? And I've loved getting to see the way that even things like speaking God's heart to someone through a drawing can impact their life and bring healing. And we just saw a lot of that this last weekend, and watching the leaders step into their city and bring transformation in their city, or step into their church or their businesses or their offices or their families. And the transformation that God is doing through it is really incredible.
It kind of blows my mind. It's like, what? You did this, you did that.
Yeah.
I mean, what they did in London, oh my gosh, which we shared about, Alice shared about that last week, which was amazing. But my next question is, as you have just come into the inner workings, and what God is doing, what kind of thing do you feel is next for creative? So for people that are watching, what do you think is next for them?
What is next? Well, I think this is something that goes back to something that we were talking about earlier is, I feel like there's always a journey with creatives, and one is just simply realizing that you're creative and that revelation, and a lot of the things that our level 1 does for people is really help them to heal that space and their identity with God and unlock their own creativity. But then I feel like the next space for that is where our Ignite conference talks about, is just going into taking it one step further and saying, how can my creativity then connect and minister to the world around me? And that, I think, is just an incredible space that God's like, I looked at the world and I created it. And what are you looking at in order to create? What's in your eyesight that I want to release through you creatively? And I see that happening around us, and I'm excited to see the next level of that step into play.
I agree with you. I think, like we were talked about earlier when Kirsten and I were meeting, about how sometimes the church has appeared very powerless because people just attend church, or they attend a meeting, or they watch something online, but there's nothing that is required or understood about what they can take and then give out to others. And so God is doing something where we want people to understand, like, they can be God's hands and feet through who they truly are in creative ways to reach out to people every single day. And somehow it has appeared that the people feel afraid. They feel insecure in doing that. And it's our time to break that open. Isn't that right? All those that are in Create Academy know, David Pennington, so glad you're with us. Oh, so glad you're with us. And here's another one, David Pennington. We love Create Academy and community, a place that everyone belongs, is loved and wanted. Woo, that is so good. I love that, David. Chelsea says, just need to say, Kirsten, you were so kind and welcoming and helpful when I was inquiring about Create Academy before I started. You're amazing. The best first point of contact. Wow, come on.
Glad to have you, Chelsea.
Yay. That's amazing. Come on. I love it, which is so true. It's so true. Let's talk a little bit about, we just did this outreach in which you mentioned, and we had different groups joining us. So this was at Huntington Beach Pier. David Pennington, you've been there too with me. And it is an outdoor place where people come and go. And we're out there, and I had my paintings up, and people were painting on little sections at this table. So we had probably about maybe 6, 7, maybe 8 people painting. And these are just people walking down that said, hey, do you want to paint? And then we also had a sign that I created on a canvas that had a tree, and on that they could put down what they were thankful for. So it was the grateful tree. So there were many things happening, face painting, balloon animals. I know you were doing some face painting and some of the art too, but share some things that happened there, and how is this different to see different merges of communities come together? Because there was SSM, your community from Pasadena, ours, and then Create Academy students came down. So tell me why that was so impactful.
Yeah, and we also had some Ekbalo, and we had even some other communities stop by. It was amazing.
We did. We had circuit riders. We had
circuit riders as well. Yeah, and I think it was amazing just seeing there was no line in who you were. All of a sudden, you were just a creative person bringing joy onto the pier of Huntington Beach. And you were there creating an invitation for people to join in and have fun. And it was just so fun. It was like, this is what being the church should look like, is having fun and inviting people into that space of love and community, of, painting. We had people painting pictures, and they were handing them out, but then they also were inviting people off the pier to just start doing your own painting, and they were prophesying over them based off of their painting. And what was happening through that was so beautiful. And the gratefulness tree was such a beautiful entry point for people, because, there's always this tension of, why are you reaching out to me? Why are you trying to talk to me? And people would kind of pull back for a second. And then they were like, oh, okay, well, I'm grateful for my family, and then it opened up room for conversations. And there were just some beautiful conversations that happened. People got healed. People opened their heart to God for the first time in a long time. We had someone who was in a really rough place, just felt like God saw them in that moment, and the light shone on their life right there in that moment. And it was so much fun.
It was such a blast. It's like, it's a great outreach, everybody, when you tell them for 5 minutes, hey, it's time to go, and they don't move. They don't want to stop blowing up balloons. They don't want to stop face painting or doing art. And you have to kind of pull the brush from their hand to get them to stop. That means like they don't want to stop, because it is so powerful to know, like, your little piece of art or your word of encouragement or your balloon animal or face painting can change someone's day. This is what we're born for. We're born to be seen and be the light, not be ashamed, because we carry it through a spirit of generosity. Wait, we have some more comments. I love this. This is so fun. Let's just see here. Catherine Elizabeth, we had so much fun. Catherine, Catherine is such a love. She also does SSM with you. And Catherine, we loved having you. We loved everything that happened. Jennifer McLean, that's going to happen in Waikiki. Yes, it is, Jennifer. Woohoo! Yes, it is. We are going in January to Waikiki to minister. That's right. I agree. Mila, yes, Jennifer, we believe that. Yes. Randy, Kirsten, what have you personally experienced and witnessed as you dive into the various activities within Create Academy? Do you have a favorite? Ooh, do you have a favorite?
Oh, that's fun. I think overall, as a short sentence, would be the way that in an online community, even though everyone's around the world, everyone is so connected. And that's so rare and so hard to find. And it's so beautiful. And I love the way that everyone celebrates each other, that there are, very talented to new beginnings, and in every space, everyone's been so celebrated. And because of that celebration, everyone just starts to shine. And I love seeing that. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, it really is. It's like, there's this thing that we believe that, in fact, Randy is a big proponent of this, that just asked this question, and even in our Facebook group in Create Academy, he goes, let no post be left behind. Like, no, it's not going to be. We're going to let people know that they're loved by what they posted. There's something about being the answer versus just becoming critical. And there's so much criticalness. Mm-hmm. And there's so much, like what you talked about, as far as in your educational whole upbringing, what you got made you afraid to even call yourself an artist, because this is what the enemy does. The enemy comes to kill our gift, to rob us, to destroy the very fabric of who we are. And guys, I have to tell you, sometimes it takes a community to restore that back. I mean, it was as Kirsten, you went to the School of Creativity that I was overseeing, and you saw that love and you heard that message, that it was unpacked, and you just let go. It's this thing that every single student in Create Academy knows about. It's like this little thing of putting your little tiptoe foot in and going, can I really trust somebody? Can I really share about what I've created? Can I really will I really be known and loved? And when you actually do that and are celebrated, it makes you want to celebrate others. And so it's very contagious. It's like, how can we not love on people? That's what our motto is. And so I think that community is going to be something that God is going to actually raise up around the world. And what you said, Kirsten, really blesses me, because I know that there are people that are listening around the world that will be listening to this, that need to know, like, your country, your city, who you are matters. Like Gideon, like, oh, who am I? I'm like the least of the least. I'm over here in like South America or South Africa or wherever I am, and I'm kind of off on your own. But together, through this online platform, we can be connected to him and to the message of who we are in our power of community, which is huge. And closing, though, if you could say one thing to creatives about the power of community, what would you say, Kirsten? We want to hear.
Yeah, it was funny. I just thought, you need it. I thought, when I think about being a creative and being an artist in any realm, a lot of times it's a very individual experience, and it's often a very lonely experience. And yet at the same time, our art is always meant to be an expression that others get to experience. And so, but if we do it alone, we actually don't get to grow. We don't get to unlock places inside of us. And we actually get to be celebrated and celebrate others and see that growth happen it's not just a multiplication or an addition. It's like an exponential growth that happens in the context of community. And I think things that can happen alone, can't happen in the same way. And so it's such a powerful way of unlocking who God's created you to be.
Yeah, we really, I love what you just said. I love this thing about do it, like get involved. I feel like I'll just put it this way, and maybe this will help you guys out that are listening right now. It's like I can't think of one person who has regretted being in the leadership track. That's our level 1 or level 2. It's like it's the power of community. It's the power of you taking your little gift and eating with other people that have something else to give to you, and you're just so much more blessed because of that relationship. And it just really is something that God really has ordained us to have. And there's something, and I just want to speak this out before we close, but there's something in our lives that will always try and prevent us from relationship, whether it's an offense from someone at the church, or what happens through divorce, or through things that might happen to us in and just our friendships, whatever it is. There's things that, and the pain of that in family relationships as well. But that's because it's supposed to matter. It's how we're wired. It's who we are. And so God wants to reclaim community in your life now, that you can trust people, that people will be there for you, that there is a chance for you to really be healed from the pain of relationships. That's just who God is. He's so good. And he wants to do that now. Let me just make sure before we close. Okay, I think this is good. They just are saying that you're amazing. So it's just Kirsten, they love you out there.
Guys.
Kirsten has to get going, but I wanted her just to pray for all of you guys. And again, guys, let's take our little bread and loaves, and let's say, God, use this to help feed those around us. Be a part of that. Join, if you can, Create Academy. There is a CA50 off coupon for 50% off of the first month. Randy, why don't you put that in the chat? Again, CA50 and then the word off. So when you go to theresadedmon.com, scroll down to Create Academy, and then put join, and then you can do that. And you can just try it out. See if you don't love it like we love it. And then join Ignite. Again, it's $30 off until December 1st. So we want to make sure that you get that value. And then if people have 10, if they invite 10 people, like we said, and that includes you, then you get to be in the raffle of getting a personal coaching session with me. So we want to bless you with that too. So, but Kirsten, I'd love for you to pray, and I'd love for you to impart right now.
Yeah, God, I just thank you for all who are listening live and all who are listening to the recording, God, that you would just stir in their hearts, Lord, a space to encounter you as the God of creativity, that you are creative and you've called each one to be creative. And Lord, I just release an unlocking of the creative gifts in each one where it has felt blocked or stuck because of comparison or because of brokenness or even relational brokenness. Lord, we just release healing to those places right now. That it's your desire to experience yourself reflected in and through them as they create with you. And God, we also just release the capacity to step into the creative community, wherever you're designed to be in this season, your tribe. We just release the grace to step into a community that celebrates you and a place that celebrates you. And Lord, we just release your hand upon them to bring healing and wholeness and release the creativity. And we thank you for the world that they're going to impact. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Woo! Guys, if you have any questions too, like we would love to find out more about your needs, about what you love. This is part of our heart and Create Academy is to help you grow. And guys, have an incredible Thanksgiving as well. That's coming up, Kirsten. We were just talking about that too, the power of what we can do in blessing others by stories you can tell, by questions you can ask at the dinner table, but bring your creativity into your holidays this time. And if you're stateside, and bless people well. And again, all Create Academy students, we love you. Come on, you're amazing. And all my fans love you so much. Have an incredible week. Be blessed. Thanks, Kirsten, for sharing.